Hello guys, welcome back to The Last Adventurers, right? Or Writer's Tales, The Last Adventurers. This is number 18. This is the Crucifixion squad. Yeah, so it's obviously it shares the same title as another novel really, but it's its own separate story. So we're on the planet Zanze, a sort of like a desert planet, very sort of similar to very Middle Eastern inspired planet, of course. So you have people in robes, of course. You have weird alien camel type creatures, of course. Small towns, of course, and of course, the usual peasants and also some Romanesque guards, of course. So it's very sort of like biblical-esque type look style of it, of course. We get an emperor called Emperor Kopeg, who at this point plans to take out youth culture of the youths, the whole youth culture. He crucifies pregnant women, young pregnant women, of course, who maybe are not married or anything, who have never, who basically go against the whole rules against sex before marriage and everything else. So he sentenced them to be executed out in the open in a desert. It's horribly wrong with obviously with carrying a child, and let the child die along with the mother. It's like, jeez, and and it's like, basically just put them on a cross and watch them die, very much. Same with delinquents as well, like little petty thieves and also people who basically vandalize and don't respect the elders and everything else. He takes harsher to that, and he also does the same thing, like he does with the young women as well, and takes them out on a cross and executes them. So the protagonists come over and they basically see like a squabble of soldiers trying to get rid of these young delinquents, and they escape because they've been pickpocketed, stealing coins from the local market traders and everything else. So they end up joining forces, and they basically spy on Kopek, of course, and see what his main game is. He goes to a cliff, and there's a statue on top of the cliff. Now this statue has been here for centuries, and it's been, like a guiding spirit for the whole civilization, for the town, well, the city really that Kopek rules under, and he prays to it, of course. Obviously, he does some weird chanting, of course, to it, which is the Zanzean language to it. Very much like I can't really pronounce what extent. I can't really know what to expect from it, really, or like was it in Hebrew or whatever? Or was it, it can be something like that, really. He prays to it. The statue itself is interesting because its face is deformed and cracked, a cracked and deformed face, and goes under the name, what do you call it, Milkir or something like that, Milkir. This statue has something to it, like, is it alive, very much, and that sort of thing. And basically, he orders Kopek to carry out and actually trying to, try and slay his own people, like the people he's ruling under. Try and make bloodshed. Make it your own thing. Kill all the people. Kill all the families, children, mothers, fathers, peasants, even the law enforcement, even the soldiers. Once they've done, they can kill themselves, and you'll just be left. And I will give you so much more. And apparently he goes for like that, really. It's like a bit husky voice that he has this statue. And obviously he tends to, Kopek tends to slay his own people. He starts doing the old first, of course, the nurses and everything else, people, market traders and everything else. He sends the soldiers just to slay them completely, limb by limb. Just like completely, just like gone, like commit genocide to his own people. It's like, God. The statue, the protagonists find out what it actually is, and they actually inspect it and actually take the piss out of it as well, in terms of, do you respect the high ends of God and everything else? Do you showcase them? Well, no, we don't. It's like they're sort of atheists, really, to be honest. When they come look at it, it's like, we don't follow orders, we don't follow gods, we don't follow organizations, we don't follow anything at all. We do not. And this all stirs up the statue, really, in terms of, like, in willing to make it powerful, and make it, like, say you must obey to the God, to the whole religious society, the whole thing, of course, It's like, you must you must listen to me. I am the God. You must listen to me at all times. And anything else, it's like, you must obey or you'll be executed. And anything else, and they basically just look at things like bollocks and that sort of stuff. It's like, with words like that, they could probably just walk away and stick the fingers up like that and think, yes, screw religion and anything else, in terms of like what he's doing to people, what he's doing to this emperor who's basically slaughtering his own, his own townfolk. What the hell? And the statue itself is actually it's an alien in a coffin, believe it or not. It's been there for centuries, it has, and it's been stuck there like it's cocooned in this weird thing. And also it doesn't, you can't really tell what it is, because at the end it explodes. It really does. It reaches its power and it basically explodes. You can't really see the creature at all. It's reduced to dust. So it's like this ancient creature who's planning to take over a planet, manipulate the emperor, and basically just slaughter everybody else. That was his main goal. He wanted his own little place, of course. And unfortunately, that's the thing. Crucify ends up getting killed, of course, because he finds out the true intentions of the statue's true intentions, and he ends up just getting his soul taken out, of course, and reduced to a skeleton. And the statue just takes it, and that's it. Nothing very spectacular. It doesn't like emerge out of a. You don't get this deadly creature come out of the statue. It just absorbs everything, and that's it. So nothing to it, of course. So it probably just feeds on it, like it gives it a bit of energy, but that's about it really. On that front of the statue, and there's nothing else with the story. So what I've said, it's basically go against religion. It's like an anti-religious story. This is, you take the elements of like the Bible, and you take bits and pieces, of course, like the idea like Crucify is praying. That's what Jesus was doing, when he was doing the whole thing. Of course, I think I've also been inspired on by a couple of betrayers. I think like people who just want to crucify the whole crucifixion thing, of course. Putting them on crosses and sticking them in the desert, of course. Yes. That's obviously very biblical indeed. The whole statue thing is sort of very keeper of Trajan. Very keeper of Trajan mixed together with the Passion of Christ and everything else. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, really? But it's like, well, yeah, it's kind of, toss everything in, see what you can do, and you end up with the Crucifixion Squad, which also is named after a novel as well. Funny enough, I did find a book of that in a copy, I think, at a charity shop a couple of years ago. Interesting. But I think it's interesting. I'm basically doing like a satirical stab at religion, really, or basically just taking the mickey out of it, because I'm very divisive of religion. I'm very divisive of it. Sometimes it can bring the good out of people, but sometimes it can bring the bad out of people as well. It can make people quite worse as well. People will be divisive on that thing. You think, actually, I could be, no, because, we're always good people. We just do what we're told. We think what is right. And fair enough to you. But there's other people who probably look at it in a different light and probably think, you're basically being talked to and being, like you're singing hymns and everything else. And also you listen to what the way it is, and you look at stuff, you read into stuff that you think, that could be the right way. For example, why calling someone the sort of Satan and whipping them with a leather belt? What is that about? What is that about? And looking someone in a cupboard, or like a special type of cupboard. It's like, I really don't want to know. I get into that sort of thing. Really, it's just like I've seen it in films. I've seen it in, it's all brought up. It is. I think I really want to know about that. Enough of that now. So, Crucifixion Squad, the A-Team story, and yes, it's a stab at religion, really, at this point. This series is very anti-SJW. This is very, because there's a lot of interesting stuff to come on. There's going to be a lot of some bad stuff that's going to be really going on through, because it's pushing the boundaries, this series. I mean, more so because of what the culture is like these days. It's ruining media in some regards, really. To some people it is, some people probably isn't, some people think it's a good thing, some people it's a bad thing. You decide on that. So this story sort of is one of those things, of course, the anti-SJW thing, of course. There's many others really, and that's all the same vein. But this one sort of is one of them, definitely. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, see you in the next video, and I'll see you later.